welcome to the Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name is Steve Van Eiderstein. Thank you all for joining me again tonight as we do today's daily reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. Looking forward to it. Yesterday's was really good about joy and accomplishment and devoting ourselves to tasks and how miserable we become when we don't actually fulfill the duties and give ourselves completely to the duty we are performing, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing what today says. This will be fresh to me and fresh to you, meaning you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading, as this will be the first time that I hear it or read it right here on this podcast with y'all. So I'm looking forward to it, and thank you all for coming along for the journey. So here we go. This is November 10th reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. The price of life is effort. Every successful accomplishment, even in worldly things, is repaid with its own measure of joy. And in spiritual things, the joy which supervenes upon the perfection of purpose is sure, deep, and abiding. Great is the heartfelt joy, albeit ineffable, when, after innumerable and apparently unsuccessful attempts, some ingrained fault of character is at last cast out to trouble its erstwhile victim and the world no more. The striver after virtue, he who is engaged in the holy task of building up a noble character, tastes, at every step of conquest over self, a joy which does not leave him again, but which becomes an integral part of his spiritual nature. The reward of accomplishment is joy. Wow. That opening line just was, it's almost jarring. And which is unfortunate at the end of the day. Something so simple as the truth of the price of life is effort should not be jarring, but it is. I feel as though today that is a statement that would strike many people as painful, and many people would argue with that. I feel, I believe, I feel, I don't, it's not I feel, it's not I believe. It's an opinion that I hold is many people think life should be done for them. They should be made to feel safe from external things, made to feel joy from external things, made to feel happiness from external things, right? But really, those things all come from effort. They come from doing the work, they come from putting yourself into something, right? So the price of life is effort, and almost the price of living, actually participating in life, living life fully and completely, is effort. It shouldn't be that drastic of an understanding to take, but it is. For many, it is. It's a truth that needs to be spoken about more, I believe. The price of life is effort. Like how it ties into the last line, too. The reward of accomplishment is joy. This is a great reading. I'm excited. There's some things I'm going to have to look up along the way. I'll tell you that right now. So get my phone ready just to Google them. But here we go. The price of life is effort. That's the opening line. Quick, six words, to the point, true, and needed. Every successful accomplishment, even in worldly things, is repaid with its own measure of joy. So, with accomplishment comes joy all the time, right? When you achieve something, there's that sense of joy. Just pretty straightforward fact. That's what we all believe, and that's what many people go for, is that sense of accomplishment and the joy that comes with it, right? Even in worldly things, though it's a different type of joy. It's not a lasting joy. It's not a permanent joy. It's not a contentment that is resulting. Achievement in worldly things usually is, honestly, it's pretty fleeting. So, but it does happen. Every successful accomplishment, even in worldly things, is repaid with its own measure of joy. And in spiritual things, the joy which, I'm going to look this up, supervenes, occur later than a well, let's look at this. Occur later than a specified or implied event or action, typically in such a way as to change the situation. A secondary definition of philosophical definition, to be entailed by or consequent on the existence or establishment of another. The view that mental events supervene upon physical ones. Entailed by or consequent on the existence. Interesting. Occurred Occur later than a specified or implied event or action. So intervene is before it's completed, supervenes is after. Okay. So the spiritual things, the joy which supervenes, which occurs after, super the joy which occurs after upon the supervenes upon occurs after upon the perfection of purpose is sure, deep, and abiding. Okay, so this is the difference we're talking about. The joy in material things is fleeting, but the joy that comes from spiritual accomplishment, that purification process, that aim of perfection and righteousness and that Christ-like ideal, however you might want to phrase that, is sure, it's deep, and it's abiding. It lasts, and it resonates to our core. It's not superficial. It's not just skin deep. It goes right to the soul of our being for these spiritual accomplishments. And I think he's going to go into those. Great is the heartfelt joy, albeit ineffable. Let me read. I want to just get the definition for ineffable again. In too great or too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. So a heartfelt joy too great to be described in words. When after innumerable, great is the heartfelt joy, though it's not really able to be described. When after innumerable and apparently unsuccessful attempts, some ingrained fault of character is at last cast out to trouble its erstwhile. That's the next one. Erstwhile. Former. I love this. This is awesome. I love this. This sentence here is fantastic. To trouble its erstwhile victim and the world no more. So great is the heartfelt joy when, after repeated attempts, a character defect is finally overcame by someone, and it haunts them no more. Let me tell you, I've had some experiences with changes of behaviors. I've had moments where anger would usually show up and I even reached for it and it wasn't there. The joy I felt after that, it's indescribable, right? It's a It really is ineffable, actually. I didn't even say that because it was stated. But when you finally when through meticulous effort and persistence, a character defect, a fault in character, as the words used here, is overcome, you can't. The relief and the gratitude and the joy from that is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's almost I remember just crying and almost crying just when it's just I don't feel that way anymore. I don't want to be that way. I don't even have the desire. And this can be from gambling and using drugs and sex or shopping or eating. Freedom from those is incredible, but the freedom from the other just the emotions as well, the self-pity, the depression, the anxiety, self-condemnation, the self-hatred, the frustration, irritation, uncomfortable. When those things finally dissipate and they don't come back, ah, what a joyous day it is when you realize it. Believe me, if you haven't had one of those, do this work until you do have one, and you'll never want to stop because you realize the only thing that's in between you and being free from your character defects, your faults of character, is you. You get to decide how free do you want to be. And that's a powerful place to be. So let's continue here. The striver after virtue, those who live this spiritual life, walk this narrowing path, right? Who is engaged in the holy task of building up a noble character, spiritual living, principled living, virtuous living, tastes at every step of conquest over self a joy that does not leave him again. Yeah, that just puts a smile on my face, but which becomes an integral part of his spiritual nature. It's spirituality brings a joy to an individual's soul that nothing else can. Doing this work and growing and living in a way that, at least for a guy like me, I didn't know was possible, to be able to change things about myself I didn't know I could even change is incredible. And it brings such joy. It brings such resounding relief and then peace to follow that you can't, there's no even good way to articulate it, right? And believe me, once you get a taste, all you want to do is keep finding things you can grow through and change. Old beliefs that you can throw away and start aligning as much as possible with that great source of the universe, that great energy that flows through this world, right? Integral part of our spiritual nature. And that's what people begin to see is that joy and that peace, that contentment with life. I've seen it in others. And that is what those in the 12 steps room are talking about when it says attraction rather than promotion. Spiritual living sells itself, to say it kind of a crass way. The joy is just palpable in a person that live in this way of life. The peace, the serenity, that contentment, the happiness. It just radiates from them. And that's what attracted me to certain individuals because I wanted that. I had never had anything like that. I had never known a deep and abiding joy. I had never known serenity. So when I found someone that actually embodied that and lived that way and carried that with them effortlessly, that's what I wanted to find, or that's what I wanted to have. And that's when I was shown this way of living. The rewards are immeasurable, and I'm just at the beginning of it, everybody. We just got started, right? So the closing line of this reading is the reward of accomplishment is joy. So the reward of accomplishment in all areas of life is joy, but materially, it's fleeting. Spiritually, it's abiding and deep and sure. Sure meaning promised, really. So the price of life is effort, and the reward of accomplishment is joy. Great pairing of lines there. Love that. Incredible, incredible reading. Absolutely what I needed today, and one I'll be thinking about for a while. That's for sure. So I'm extremely grateful for it. So thank you all for joining me and listening along. I hope you all enjoyed it and got as much inspiration out of today's as I did. This is a fantastic one. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's and kind of go from there. So until next time, thanks.